is. Okay, there we go. I think we're ready. I've got Sandra co-hosted. Okay, you guys, welcome to our DTC Wine Ambassador Hour. We have a lot to cover this time, so we're going to start a few minutes early, but you guys stay tuned till the end of the call because we have a lot of announcements and updates happening. But we also had planned to cover a few other things. Let me see. Yes, I see him here. Let me add him as well. There we go. Okay, so also just before we go into the tasting part of this portion, we also are covering some wine label information, you guys. So we wanted to discuss that. Rory really wanted Peter Antonio to come on here and talk about his label and his design on that, as well as I think Rory's mentioned a little bit about the Rickard label. And I have a new label coming. My old label, this is, if you guys are not familiar with it, this was mine. So I'll discuss a little bit about the meaning behind this label, but it's being changed completely to a different label. So that label will no longer. So it's a collector's item. Guys, it's a collector's item. As we've changed with the from wine, as you guys know, to direct to consumer ambassador, we're changing a bunch of different things. And I think we're making it better. I think it's all better. So I think that's the one thing that Rory and I are really strong at as we grow, we can kind of gauge the audience and kind of move and make things better. And so I'm really excited. We'll be discussing that after the tasting. So first off, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jackie. She is one of our amazing leaders here. I just love her to pieces. She is just like a sister to me, guys. And the thing about the leadership here is as we grow and build together, we have such like-minded purposes and thoughts and passions that we just really become family. And I truthfully feel like most of the MSIs here, they're like my family, and she's an extra special one as well. So anyway, Jackie, if we'll go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you, Tanya, for your kind words. Yes, I'm Jacqueline, and this is my favorite day of the week because we get to do what I like to call is the Saturday wine brunch. So if you've never joined, you're getting in for a treat today. We do a little bit of cooking, but we talk a whole lot about how to pair our wonderful wines with the meals from our culinary cooks. And today I have a really special guest. She happens to be my direct student, and she was recently promoted to a GSI in the platform. We're so very proud of her. She's doing wonderful. And so without further ado, I am going to introduce Miss Sandy Gusto. Sandy, take it away and let us know what you got for us today, baby girl.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. What I did here is I did some sliders, some breakfast sliders. There's so many different ways you can do these sliders. I'm going to show them to you here. They just cut out of the oven, so just in time. So what I did is I took some wonderful Black Forest ham. You can do so many different things with this as far as breads and things to put on it. Use a wine roll, slider buns, make your own. I'm not that creative in baking, so I actually purchased the slider roll. And then I just layered it with ham, and then I enjoyed two types of cheese. And then what I did is scrambled some eggs. What I like about this recipe is you can do this at a big brunch and redo everything early. So that all you got to do is sit and bake it, and it comes out nice and warm and fresh. So scrambled eggs, and then I decided here to do add some mushrooms, some red pepper, and some onion to it. And then I like two types of cheese. You can always do more with this. You can add turkey to it. You can do the sausage crumbles. You can do any of that kind of stuff with it. I always try to have a vegetarian one for people who don't, eat meat, and then the others. And so I've done this several times where I've had 3 or 4 different varieties out there. Now, that being said, I looked at my wines and okay, what wine goes with this? And I know that it said you need a crisp white wine. So I went on the hunt. I needed a Chardonnay, a Chenin Blanc, or a Sauvignon Blanc. Now, when I get my wine shipments, I usually get all red. So I was really kind of freaking out that I wasn't going to get a white. But as luck had it, I had one on my shelf. So I'm pairing it with the More Than Muse Sauvignon Blanc. And tasting this before, it's a drier wine. Then the other thing is that if I had to go red, what kind of red would go with it? And as usual, it's a Pinot Noir. So unfortunately, I had a Nile Eddy. It's gone now. Anyway, Nile's a wonderful wine. I love this wine. But I just wanted to show that you could do a Pinot with it as well if you don't have any wine. I was also kind of worried I wasn't going to get my shipment because we're on temperature controlled trucks. And I live in Minnesota and it's quite hot or quite cold. So I really enjoy the fact that I get my wine a little bit late, but it's okay. I always know it's a quality wine. So I did take my Northern Muse out about 10 minutes before we started here. I've tried it prior to. Again, it's a little dry. And I'm going to take a bite of my slider and I'll try it again and tell you what I come up with.
Show us the product of your sliders. I'd love to see your dish. Because the picture, yes, because the photos in your page look beautiful. Yes, those look delicious. You can't never go wrong with a slider, guys. There you go.
And like I said, you can pre-have everything up and just put it in containers. Just spin it in the microwave, warm it up, build your stuff, and you can go. And then you can also keep them warm in the oven. Just kind of let your oven go down to about 170 degrees. And then they'll just stay nice and warm until you're ready to serve them.
Awesome.
Okay. So as I said, I did.
Let's see what those puppies taste like with that wine, girl.
Okay. So that's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see the pepper and the mushroom.
Dang, they look delicious. Yeah.
They are.
You can't go wrong with a slider.
No, and I have I've got some sweetness going on. As well as the smokiness in the ham, but the onion and the pepper sweet on this side. Well, it hits me further back. On my tongue, it's a little bit more tartar. So I can understand why they want a crisp white wine with this. I'm just sad I don't have the Pinot to try it there, but so that's what I got.
Wow. Well, that looks scrumptious. Peter, I know you're on here. Do you have anything to add about her tasting this morning, or Tanya? It absolutely, that is a great brunch dish, and I do believe she chose a really good wine to pair that with, y'all.
Yeah, she's making me very hungry, but and yeah, the crisp white's a great way to go with it. So the Sauvignon Blanc's always a good choice there, especially with things like the onions and the peppers. Some other whites might get a little buried by it. And so whenever you have like vegetable things, Sauvignon Blanc is a great choice. If you had gone red, yeah, the Nile would have been great, but you also got to think about some of the other ingredients. It's not just the ham. Remember what we said on our last dinner party was how amazing onions are with the Adele. The Zinfandel and onions is just blew us all away. It was something we weren't expecting. And when you start doing peppers, Cab is always good. So it doesn't always have to be the one ingredient. You can look for different things and find different wines to go with it. So, but the one you chose, yeah, that would be great. I love the way that crisp white just picks up, especially salty foods like that. That's why it's so good for like charcuterie boards. And then that's also brings me to Rory's favorite, the cocktail wine. Think about what goes with a charcuterie board, right? What am I thinking, Tanya?
Rosé.
Right. So, I mean, you can go so many different ways. The reality is every wine's going to bring out something different in the food that you're sharing. So, try different things. You'll find something new out of it.
Well, thank you, Peter. Tanya, do you have anything to add to that, sweetheart?
No, I think she did an amazing job. And like he said, to try the other flavors, because I was so shocked by when we did our family dinner, the Adele, the Zinfandel, how that paired so well with some of the flavors. I was very shocked because I even grilled peaches with a little honey and brie, and with the Zinfandel, I never would have thought to pair those together, and I did, and it was just fabulous. So yeah, way to go, Sandra, though. Thank you.
Well,
yeah, y'all, I'm still amazed by that one. I never would have thought of.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for your
I even shocked Peter, Jackie.
Well, thank you both for your input. Y'all, we have a lot of really neat things that Peter and Rory and Tanya are going to go over with you. So I'm going to turn it back over to them. So get ready. I'm so excited. Tanya, take it away.
All right, thank you, Jackie. So just to note, Jackie did post Sandra's link in the chat there, you all. So you can go over there and get her recipe and read her page and give her a little love over there. So make sure you guys do that. I love that we are able to do that and share ideas as well. Because to me, the ideas with wine are never ending. You guys hear me say a lot of times that I feel like there's no wrong reason to have a glass of wine. Absolutely not. I think it's just something that's for everyone. And as I always say, like when we talk about this has really been a passion project for Rory, myself, and Peter. And it's just something that we're really, really passionate about. And I think you guys, that love comes through as we start talking about wine tastings, wine bottling, different varietals, all the different background and knowledge that specifically Peter and Rory really have. They have a lot of background knowledge with wine tasting and traveling around and drinking, all that. Especially, I know Peter as well as Rory specifically. I know obviously a little bit more about, but he's traveled since he was 18 years old, tasting wine all over the world. So, and I believe Peter's had a lot of that similar experience as well, especially with his background. So yeah, it's just really fun to have that. So just a quick shout out, you guys, we are doing another I'm calling them family dinners, and it will be different this next time because I'm going to take the reins and make sure that y'all can chat about your wine pairing and your dinner. And I'm just checking to see the date to make sure I give y'all the right date. That's August 17th, same here. So August 17th, you guys, just bring your family dinner and your wine, and we'll click on other people and let them taste as well. And as well as you'll get to hear a lot from Rory and Peter and myself as well as we share. So anyway, on to talking about a few things, you guys. It's the end of this season that we have right before we have our harvest season that we always have. We have a label winner coming up, and it's really, I really love to see the numbers and who's leading and who's coming on. And you guys, after Peter helped us do all the extra information, the person that is winning this year, there's no close second. So this person really just shook it. And I'm just really, really proud of them. So, and their team as well, because you guys, to get the label, it's not just the leader, it's also the team behind it, right? It's the team that's working and showing up and doing everything as well. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but that is the truth. It's the leader and their work and their support of their team. And it's their team that's supporting and working. And it's a, you know, as we always say, we don't get paid unless you get paid. It's a combined effort. So we're really excited. And as our minds has been on designing labels, Rory really wanted to touch on some of the labels and the information on the background story of some of the labels. So I'm going to have Mr. Peter here come on and talk about his, because Rory hinted a little bit about his and then asked me to have Peter come on today. So we're going to have Peter talk about his label a little bit and his design. And then Rory and myself will talk a little bit. And if we have time before we have announcements towards the end, we're gonna pick on Niall, Donna, and Deanna if they're around and they have their bottles. So we're gonna pick a little bit on them. So anyway, go ahead, Peter, and share your inspiration for your wine.
Okay, well, thank you, Tanya. It was nice. I wanted to get something. Obviously, one of my most important things, especially when we talk about wine, is the Greek heritage and my background there. And this time, we really wanted to share probably my favorite place on earth. Island everybody's seen pictures of, Santorini. Now, one of the things about that, you ever see pictures of places and when you finally go there, it's like, okay. No, this is the one place I've been to that absolutely is better than it is in the pictures. The pictures don't do it justice. And that's pretty amazing considering those pictures. It's just an absolute one of a kind place. It's just magical. It's and there's a lot of theories. It's almost unreal because it's this crescent that used to be a giant island that in ancient times blew up and most of the island got eliminated. And there's just this little crescent left. It's probably one of the leading theories for the place that might have been Atlantis. So that's, to say it's a magical place just doesn't even do it justice. And a little personal connection there. My last name is, I mean, and Rory has learned to pronounce it finally, but it's, even as Greek names go, it's an uncommon one. It's not the most common name out there. So when you go into Santorini, the way you get there from a cruise ship is the first time I went there, you go up this cable car into town, or you can take donkeys. I'm really not much for riding donkeys up a steep hill. So, but on the getting back down, waiting at the cable car station, I'm looking to my left and there's a jewelry and wine shop with my name on it. That my last name. It's pretty unusual, but there it was right right there. So, and I found out that there used to be a winery with that name on that island. So it's it's an unusual last name, and to see it there, obviously they made the connection. So, so that's what we're featuring on the label, and it's feels a little more personal this time.
Thank you, Peter. I actually didn't know that story, so I just learned something as well. I mean, I know your name is unique, and I know a little bit about your family history just as we've shared through tastings, but it's always amazing to get to know you. And you've traveled a lot, right? And tasted wines and really educated your palate quite a bit, haven't you? Because I remember.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been one of my favorite things to do. I mean, wine is something, and with an Italian background that you have the same, wine is always around the house. My grandfather under the sink had this jug of wine that he was always drinking from. It was probably awful cheap wine, nothing particularly good, but just having wine with a meal is just part of the culture, part of our lives, and part of what we grow up with. So it was not, and then as I started my freshman year in college, it was like the months before they changed the drinking age from 18 to 21. So they were able to offer a class called Intro to Wine Tasting when I was a freshman in college. And I got to go, and that's where I started really understanding the whole world of wine and what got into it, and what went into tasting and understanding all the different wine regions and types and glasses and all that. Of course, it also made Wednesday night walks back to the dorm after that class a little interesting and a little treacherous, but so that kind of started it. And from there, I just got more and more fascinated as I got into wine and food, and the two go together. You don't have wine without food. You don't have food without wine, and you don't have either without friends and family. So that's been important to me. But as I've traveled with friends, with family, I got to meet a lot of chefs, a lot of winemakers, and that's a lot of where our wines come from now, is from some of those people I've met over the years. And but yeah, I've traveled all over, especially Europe and North America, and everywhere I go, I always have to try the local wines to see what it is. Got to remember, sometimes when you're having the local wine, it's amazing, and it's only amazing because you're in an amazing place. But still, there's nothing like having the experience of wine wherever you are and sharing the local wine. And that's
totally agree. Totally. Yeah. I like you, but Peter hinted on that. My background, I'm half Italian, and my Italian family, it was very much a part of our everyday existence. You guys, was just expected. Even we had my grandmother had little tasting glasses that we would let the little children. She thought it was very, very important that they have a little sip with dinner to help their stomachs. And she was right. When we didn't have it, we'd have more upset stomachs than not. But she was just a wise woman, and we just really, really looked up to her. And my father was first generation American, and so that the pride that she still had of her homeland, her people, was just phenomenal. And that love trickled down through us. Italians are huge storytellers. So dinner, my earliest memories would be around the table with my family, and her telling stories of our ancestors, and that love of family just comes through, and it always is with a glass of wine. So that's just kind of how I was raised. That's how I knew it to be. And so while I haven't had a lot of the travel experience, because I'll talk a little bit about my label real quickly, but this one particularly, like I said, it is changing, and I will share more of my other one. But this one, if you guys can see, it's the bear, and I have my the seven bear cubs. And if you don't know my story, my husband and I we have a blended family. So we raised 7 children together, and those are my little bear cubs. And that's kind of what that represented was, for anyone who knows me, I knows that I'm very fiercely protective of my children. Like it's super important to me, my children. And at the time of the label, I didn't have grandchildren, and I even am more fierce about my grandchildren. So yeah, it's just kind of that image. But this was a surprise to me. I did not know I was getting a label. I thought that with the Rickard label, that was just going to be for myself and Rory. So I was very, very, surprised with the label. But with the new one coming out, as we've been changing things up, the newest one is more of it's a nod to my Nona, my grandmother, and the love that she shared for me. And that's kind of what that is. If you guys will see the new label, I come from a very strong line of family and the love that they have for it. And so I wanted to share and reflect a little bit of that. And I have her stories of her having her last glass of wine by a vineyard there in Italy before she came to America. Like I have those stories. So I had there's a little snippet of that in there that you guys will see. But yeah, it was very much an honor to me. And I was really, really excited to have that. And you guys, this is something that, it's really special to have. And when you do not know it's coming, I think it's even more magical, like I said, truthfully, I thought that the Antonio and the Rickard labels would be the ones that would be our main ones. And I didn't expect this one. So anyway, it was just really a blessing. Do you want to touch a few minutes, or should I see if I can pick on some leaders?
You want me to cover mine or do you want?
Yeah.
I'll do that real quick.
Here's
No slide in.
yes, I know.
So let's come by you. So, I think everybody's seen the Rickard label. I don't have one here because we drank it and forgot to save the bottle. And we got new Rickard in right now, guys. It's shipping out. And we need to get some of that like right away.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I can gladly hold one up for you.
you could hold one up for me. Go ahead. Yeah, you got one there.
Let me go get it.
Thank you.
And you guys might and I got to tell you, I want to add something more on Peter's, because our graphics guy heard what he wanted, and Peter, I don't know if you remember this part with Daniel, but you literally were like, when he got the label done and sent it over to you for your approval, you literally are like, oh my gosh, that's exactly the point. That's exactly where I was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. When I looked at that, I was like, I've stood in exactly the spot where that picture was, where that painting was made from. It's I can picture it. I can go find pictures in my camera roll of it. And like I said, it's just an unbelievable place.
And you guys, with all the work that's put into this, on the corporate side, we have our labels because, it's a way to say thank you all the time. And, we're celebrating with Peter every time we open his bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. We're constantly celebrating what we've achieved together and what his hard work and dedication to this. And it's been tremendous, just like we do with the Nile, just like we do with the Donna, just like we do with the Deanna, and just like we will be doing with the new one, which I'm salivating just even thinking about that.
Yeah, I know. I haven't had a good glass of
for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's your beautiful label.
Now speak again so we can see it.
You see it?
Yeah. So you guys, I wanted that R. I knew exactly what I wanted since I was literally like 25. I knew exactly what I wanted on my wine label. I wanted my own winery. And I literally went out to Napa to buy a winery that was up for sale. And I had my business advisors tell me, Rory, go talk to some of the neighboring wineries around that area, see how they're doing, and see if they'll, open up about their profitability and things are, because, my advisors are saying, Rory, we just don't see the profits that you think you're going to get out of the wine business. And this is before the internet, guys, just to put that in there too. There was no online distribution. This was, you had to do it the old way. Okay. And I'm bringing this up here, and I don't think I've been able to go on this with too many people, but we went out there and I had two buddies that were going to be investing with me. I had them totally behind this. We were going to buy this existing one. They already had staff running it. We were going to take it all over, and we were going to have our own winery and buildings and all this stuff to be making our own wine. And we went out there, and I called a bunch of the wineries that were there, and I scheduled a meeting with the owners, and And I went there and I sat down with them, and I'll give you the gist of it. They were very polite. We got to try their wines and what they were doing. And, you know, and I think I don't know if they were thinking like we're coming in to buy a bunch, but, you know, when we broke down the books and discussed it, and we were showing how we were looking to make profits, they literally laughed at us. They laughed, and they just laughed, and they said, and this is the first time I've ever heard it. I've said it a million times since. And they said, do you know how you make, you know how you make $1 million in wine? I'm like, how? They said, start with 5. And, you know, they were talking about how theirs were like family passed down, and they were keeping the legacy going. But to enter the market back then, to get going, and I mean, the land value has only gone up. It's very competitive with all the conglomerates. And the time, the conglomerates were trying to buy out all the family ran businesses, all the boutiques. And most of those ones that I talked to when I was 25, they're owned by the conglomerates now. So I got to see this unfold. And I knew what label I wanted to be. We were going to change the winery to Rickard. I knew exactly what I wanted back then. And obviously we didn't do it. It didn't make sense. It was a great way to, I guess, have offsets to your income. There were some benefits that way, but it was, and then then the staff, you know, and all the other stuff was in there. It just wasn't right. And now the way we get to do it in the direct to consumer, you know, direction with online delivery, you know, online sales, and the way that we get to do it, it's just so much better. And you guys, we knew we were going to be disrupting that industry. I still get a kick out of you guys do a search for Rickard Merlot, see what comes up. We're not available on Vivino. We're not available in all those places, but you know, it's amazing where we're going with this. And we knew it would take years to implant and go against something that's been out there for, well, decades, right? Since Prohibition, we've been dealing with, which was when the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, the 20s.
And you know, it's been, I mean, it's a vast growing thing. Wine is massive. And, you know, we knew it'd be a great undertaking, but my label, I've wanted that label since I was 25. And, you know, we got to invest millions to get this thing going and build it up to get our label. You know, Tanya's been just behind the scenes, you know, working with all the stuff to get this stuff coordinated, you know, and of course, Peter, and, you know, we have the Adele in honor of his mom, who's been a great help with us doing things too. It's been a very awesome effort. And then of course, all of our awesome R247 family, as we promote this, pushes out there. And you guys, we had to do something with the wine business when the original one was run to the ground, which was crazy. We had to. Wine changed everything for how we market. It changed it all. It took us and put us to break even and into profits. It was so relevant. We had to keep it. And so I'm remembering the time when we, you know, and every time I look at that label, I think about the journey I took personally and what that's combined to get to where we are today. And so it's very special to me. And that R crest, I guess I'll call it, that just symbolizes all of it. And, you know, it's the Rory that's in it. It's the Rickard that's in it. It's everything along this journey of wine, and, you know, all roads lead to wine. You know, the aspect and the value that's created in it, all that comes out to me in that label. So that being said, when we create the labels for the leaders in wine, winners, we put massive thought, massive direction, massive meditation and manifestation into those labels.
Yeah.
All right.
Get emotional thinking about it, actually.
And Tanya's been at the heart of every single one on the direction we're going. And we wanted to make sure it symbolized every person that got there, because we knew we're going to be celebrating every time we see that bottle. It better be right. And I'll tell you, the next winner, that label has several days of creation behind it. And we're,
Yeah.
It's incredible. And there's already some awesome stories about it, on how it got to where it's at. And we'll share that at the right moment. I'll say that for now.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to pick on a couple of our label winners, you guys. To me, like I've talked about this a couple of times on some other calls, but let me just get over, sorry, guys. The honor of having a label is just phenomenal. And our first two label winners, I'm gonna see, Donna, let me see if you're here. Ladies first, and then we'll go to Mr. Nile. Donna, are you able to unmute? Y'all, if you win a label, we get to pick on you the rest of the time. I'm just kidding.
The Donna you're trying to unmute is not Donna Walker, Mike.
It's not Donna. Where's my Donna? Donna Walker. I should just put Donna Walker.
And by the way, as while Tanya's trying to find her, the thing you need to, when Tanya was talking about how fiercely protective, most of us, I'm not sure if all of us know, she's as fiercely protective of us as the rest, as her own kids. So.
Thank you, Peter. It's true. Rory and I take it seriously to protect you guys. And what you don't see behind the scenes is that anytime someone comes to us with an offer or anything, I am fierce about it. I'm fierce about making sure that it's what you guys need. But I don't think I can unmute Donna right now. So I'm going to have Niall, will you unmute and talk a little bit about your label?
No, I'm shy.
No, you're not.
Well, first let me talk about something Roy touched on, which was the old way. Have to do it the old way. Rory, I would have much more loved going door to door with wine than Kirby vacuum cleaners. Let me just say that. If we had to go back to door sales, I would do that with wine. Gosh, that even sounds like fun, doesn't it? So look, Tanya, I know you're probably going to make me cry, so I wrote some stuff down so I wouldn't get unfocused. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't like wine when I was a teenager. Like you, I'm half Italian also. Grandma always had wine around, but it was that really strong one in the wicker basket.
Yep.
And I tried it when I was about 12, and I said, yep, nope, I don't like that. I think I tried it again when I was probably around 14. Yep, nope, I'm sure I still don't like it. But it wasn't until I was like 17 or 18 and we could drink back then. We could purchase alcohol back then. That's not too long ago. I'm not even going to say how long ago that was. And I tried a Pinot Grigio for the first time. And I thought, ooh, I like that. Okay, so I don't like red wines. I actually like white wines. So Pinot Grigio was my go-to for, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. So a long time. That was the only thing, like most people, everybody just buys that same wine over and over and over and over and over at the store, and afraid to try different things, especially if they tried a bad red earlier, which that one in the wicker basket was. I don't know what grandma was drinking back then, but they liked it. It helped. They drank it for the digestive help, right? And the relaxation, not the taste. So I think it was 17 or 18, I tried the Pinot Grigio. That became my go-to. And then it was, 10 years after that, 15 years after that, I tried a first red. And I thought, oh, wait, not all reds are the same. And it was a Pinot Noir, actually. I think Pinot Noir and Cab Sauv are the two that, out of all the reds, those were my two favorites. And the Pinot Noir just seemed extremely versatile. It would just, it didn't matter what we were eating that day. Most of the time, the Pinot Noir went good pairing with that, even though I didn't understand pairing back then. The Pinot Noir just seemed to go with more different foods. And I think you guys know me very, very well. So that fruit forward and the spicy finish, the sweet and the spicy, that's why you guys picked it. I'm not sure. I wish I would have even known and had a clue, but then you guys know me well, as I said, and keeping me out of all that decision was probably the best thing you could have ever done. But that Pinot Noir, when I tasted that, I was absolutely blown away how good it was. Because I've had good Pinot Noirs before, but nothing like that Pinot Noir. And when you guys put me up in front of the Donna and I at the table that are chairs facing each other with the little burlap bags, and we each had a bottle inside of it. And I think she had mine and I had hers. Isn't that how it went?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And Donna and I were talking and I said, congratulations, sis. I'm really happy for you. Because I just knew that we were both going to pull out the Donna Walker. I just knew that. And I remember pulling out of the bag going, see, I told you so. And then she pulled hers out and went, uh-oh, and she turned hers around. And that was just an unbelievable moment. How you two did that was incredible. And it took, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes for all of it to sink in. And then all of a sudden I'm telling myself, now you've got your name on a bottle of wine in a wine club that's going to spread wine all over the world. And the honor just started laying into me. And I'm thinking about all the celebrities who have their own wine labels and all the big companies who have their own wine labels. And then I'm looking at mine going, oh my God, I've got my name on a bottle of wine. That's the legacy that you two always talk about, right? Building something, building legacy. My legacy is on with an unbelievable company, but on one of the best wines I've ever tasted in my life. And that, when it comes to designing the label, I think everybody now is pretty fortunate that they at least get to give you a foundation and designing their label, what's going on. Guys, I had no say-so in this whatsoever because I didn't have a clue. And I guess maybe if they would have asked for some kind of a design back then it would have given me a clue. And that's how big of a surprise it was to me. And that's why it hit me so hard. Tanya, Rory, they know me so well. That compass,
I'm going to talk about that, Niall.
it's my true north, right? Which my true north has two
You guys, I'm going to
my
interrupt you.
kids.
I'm just going to interrupt here now because I want to say something, you guys. So I obviously you guys, if you hear him introduce Rory and I every Tuesday, and he always says that he's known us for 30 years and he's family, and he's absolutely, my kids call him Uncle Niall. My grandchildren even call him Uncle Niall. He's very much a part of our family. He has been for a long time. As a matter of fact, when Rory and I were dating, I had to get his approval. So that's how strong it is, that relationship that we have. And you guys do not understand the strength that this man carries. And I do not know how he does it, but y'all can see that picture behind him. And that is his beautiful daughter, who is no longer with us. And when you lose someone that you love like that, it rips you apart. And for that man and his ability to come back and keep pushing forward for the rest of his family is just amazingly phenomenal, and impressed me with no end. Because this happened right when I was new with him, like new in his family, and this beautiful girl that I was just getting to know. And he always told me that she was his why. She was his reason. She was his reason, and that is why he has the compass. Because she is his compass. She is his reason, his true north, his reason for keeping up and keep going and keeping his drive together. And there she is, his beautiful daughter.
My number one cheerleader.
Yep. And so when
Stays
he
right here on my laptop.
He talks about cheerleading club with his story. That's who he talks about. And so I really wanted something that represented her on his label. And I knew that would mean a lot to him. And I know who his true north is. It is his children for 100%. And that one was really to represent his daughter, Brittany, and now his family as well. But anyway, that's the love behind that label, just so you guys know.
My kids have always been my driving force, and helping other people is always a passion of mine. In case you didn't know, sometimes to a fault, I'm a nurturer.
Yes, you are.
Right. But at Labor Day, that event, the harvest celebration, that was a big award, and it hit me how big it was. But I think it was the Thanksgiving right after that when I served all this to the other adult kids, and they said, "Oh my God, Dad, that's so good. What is that?" And that's when I showed them the label. That's when they teared up. That made me tear up.
Okay. Thank you, Niall. We love you. Love you. And just even though Donna is probably on Goya, but I'm just going to hit on her label just a little bit, you guys. It says Donna Walker on hers because that is her given name. And I just had a feeling that was the way to go. And it turns out my feelings are pretty accurate. And that's what I did with her. We went with her given name. And that's why you see a lot of her things. They'll say Donna Walker Meyer. And that's our amazing Donna. She's been here for a long time and really supporting and grown with, and you know what, she really gives back as well with her team. And I knew that she wanted some place to represent her children and her grandchildren. And so on her label, and she's always mentioned how the beach was her, like her happy place, her place to reconnect and to kind of to find her purpose, if you will. We all have that special place, and that was for her. And so that's why when we picked her label, it specifically has the amount of seashells and starfish are for her children and grandchildren. So it's very, very specific to her as well. So everything that we do is really thought, there's a lot of thought behind it and a lot of meaning behind the labels. Nothing is done without a lot of thought and love. And it's, anyway, it's really important. I don't think I have a bottle of her wine because I did drink it.
I just went and looked. I thought I had some, and I just went and looked, and that's my second favorite wine. I drank it all.
Hold on a minute. That I have a bottle of downstairs.
Okay, thank you. Getting emotional over here, guys. But yeah, we had steak last night, and I forgot my son threw away the trash. But anyway, it went well with the steak. Let me tell you, it was great with that. But then I think Peter's gonna grab one. I just drank it. But I do have the Nile and the Deanna right here. I can share those. Where are you doing to grab those bottles?
Here's
Right there.
Donna.
Oh, there she is. So I don't know if you, those are representing of her kids and her grandkids right there. That's really what she wanted. And Peter's gonna share as well, I think.
Yeah. Especially since you made me go down the stairs to get it.
Yep. That's her newer updated label right there, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So it was very sweet. We held true to even when we changed a little bit, we held true to everything. Because Niall, you showed is that your 2020 that you showed? Because I have your 2019 right here. This is his original label here. So you can see the difference a little bit.
I have them both sitting.
But yeah, as you know, as we needed to, we've changed and updated things, but we've stayed true to the original label. So yeah, there's both of them.
And of course, one thing Niall was talking about how well the label matches him. Another thing we do is we make sure that the wine, and not just that it was a Pinot Noir, but it was Niall's Pinot Noir. We had to make a one that would represent him. We had to find the cab that would represent Donna. So it's not just any cab, we try to match. We spent a lot of effort to match the wine to the label winner. And this year's
I remember the day I asked Peter, and it was you that answered. I said, "Oh my goodness, that's so good. Why is that not a Grand Cru?" And his answer was this: if it was a Grand Cru, then everybody couldn't have it.
right.
It shut me right up.
Yeah. Really a lot of thought behind it, but I think Deanna's on. So let me see if I can ask her to unmute. Deanna, are you on?
I'm here.
Do you want to talk anything about your label? I have it right here, by the way. Here's her beautiful label.
I absolutely love it. I mean, everybody knows I'm a red wine girl. And when when we were in Napa that day, Peter and Rory, you guys got me so good. They totally tricked me. Totally tricked me and made me think someone else was winning. And when we were there and they were announcing it, they also came out with a bottle with my label on it, and it was white wine. And I was like, what is going on here? Because like I said, everybody knows I'm a red girl. And oh yeah, those guys, you got me good. It was funny. And yeah, I was super shocked. And of course, everyone that was there, you all see me cry. Because I was just, I wasn't expecting it, but it was an incredible moment. And yeah, something that I'll never, ever, ever forget.
Yeah, it was really, again, when you guys, like with her label, we put a lot of thought behind it. And I'm not going to share because Deanna's really private, but she's had to stand on her own a lot of her life. And so we wanted to get really emotional. So we wanted a beautiful woman standing firm and looking and working hard. And that's kind of what we had to represent her. So anyway, sorry, Deanna, I'm not going to make you cry.
Hey. I love you.
I did it for her.
Sorry, I get emotional. You guys, wine is family to me. Wine means family to me. If you don't know that yet, it definitely is really important to me. And the same thought and love that has gone into their labels is, like Rory has said, has gone into our new labels. So yeah, it's just really, you guys, the whole thing I felt that you guys got, at least from Niall and Deanna, is that it was really something that they're very proud of, that they love, and that it means a lot to them. And what, I mean, I understand, because I'm blessed to have one, and what an honor that is to have that and share that with your family and that legacy. So yeah, it's just such a great reward. And so on to the last part of our announcements, guys. We are going to talk about, we're going to talk about some upcoming events and let you guys know what's going on. So we are changing things up this year. We've always had the label winners and shown them, and had our Crush It event in Napa. And this year, with several things that are going on, it's not possible, but we wanted to make sure that we still honored the label winner and did something special for them. So even the varietals that were picked for them were specifically picked for them. That's what Peter was touching on there. And even the taste, the taste, it wasn't just, as he was saying, it wasn't just any Pinot Noir. It was a Niall Eddy Pinot Noir. It wasn't just any cab. It was the Donna Walker cab. It wasn't just any Malbec. It was the Deanna Young Malbec. So we were really looking into the taste and looking into the making sure that it fit them. We wanted it to be a representation of them. So it was really important. So with each of those, we paired, we had a meal and decanting of the wine, and we paired that with the winner, and we didn't want to change that for this year. So we're just changing up the location a little bit, but it's on to one of my favorite states. It's going to be in Florida. So as you know, Rory does everything well. He has a page that he's written. Are you ready, Rory?
I'm ready. Let's bring it out.
Okay.
Share the screen.
I am going to, let me move this over. We're going to share the screen, guys, and talk about all of the new stuff coming up. This one here.
So obviously we're going to be talking about this as it gets going. We've got the rooms ready to go. We've got the days there. And so this is event 2023. It's our second event 2023. We're going to do it in the same place that we did the last one in May. We have a lot of people who can get there to Orlando. Airfares are super affordable. And we had such a great time with that hotel, and they treated us so good. We were like, we got to go back there. So we're going back to that hotel. I think this might be the last time we can use that hotel, because we're going to be popping at the seams as it is.
Too big, yeah.
But we got really good rates. Now I got to tell you, this time of year at Universal, and which is we're right near Universal. You guys remember, you can look out your windows and see Universal Park, Universal Studios and the parks there. This is a very awesome time of year because of their Halloween nights, which start at like 6 o'clock, 6:30. You got to get there like in the line at 5. It's very popular, and it goes to like 1 in the morning. Okay, and I think they have a lot of the rides going. They got like theme parks. They've got like, if you guys, it's a theme park. They got themes around the park that are, the scary stuff. And
Getting ahead of it.
I know I am. I get so excited about it, but I'm just letting you guys know. So, but anyway, during that time, the hotel's booked. A lot of people come to these. And so we're on the phone with, his name is Donald. He manages that hotel. They loved us. You guys, we were so respectful. We did stuff. And we used the rooms that we needed. We had, we had that meal. And so we've arranged stuff to happen there. And we have a ticket price that covers everything that's going to happen there. So I'm going to walk you through that. We're going to get there on Friday. Friday night is reserved for the teams. So the leaders that are there, get with your teams. You guys can go do dinner, hang out. We'll do some mingling there on Friday night. Saturday morning, we're doing breakfast, all of us, from 8 o'clock to 9:30, breakfast and mingle. And breakfast is included. That we're having that catered at that restaurant. So we're right there. Everybody's in one place. We'll eat up good. And then we're going to, from 9:30 till 4 o'clock, it's intense training. And then we're going to break from 4 o'clock. And then at 5:30, and this might change a little bit. We're working on the thing with the restaurant, but right now at 5:30, we will be leaving the hotel to go to our dinner destination. There is not enough room in that hotel to do the dinner there. it just, there just isn't for all of us.
Also, we want to make it really special around, like I said, around the wine label winner. It's where really our thought is to pair the wine with the food, obviously.
And there's a restaurant that just has the perfect pairing foods for this amazing wine we're releasing. So we're gonna all go there, enjoy that for the evening, and then we'll come back. Now the following day is, you guys, we had a lot of fun doing Universal together, and you guys, we work really hard, right? A lot of work, intense training. We got to play hard too. And Tanya and I, we love the theme parks. So I wrote it out on the bottom just from the notes there. So those that are willing to stay, you guys are, you'll buy your own tickets for there, but there's two, I'm going to do the whole day. So I'll do the day and the night. Tanya will be joining in the evening for the, you can keep going down, third. Is there, and we're gonna have it very much more organized than we did last time. We're gonna know exactly where we're gonna meet for lunch. We're gonna have everything noted out there. We had different groups that split it off. So if you want to do Universal with us, I'll be doing it all day Sunday, and then I'll be there for the evening as well. And that's where Tanya will join us. And you guys, you don't have to go to a whole day. Not everybody has the batteries to do it. It won't be as hot as it was in May. Just to put that out there. And we can hit the parks, but you can hit part of the day on that on the day, but the night, and then some people that night, I mean, it starts at 6:30. We had to get there at 5. It goes till 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I won't be doing that.
You'll be there for part of it.
Just so y'all know, I will not be staying till 1 o'clock in the morning, but that's my wake up time. But yeah, I'll be there for a few hours for sure.
So we just put that on there so we can do that. But Saturday's training, we're going to be covering tonology. And it's going to be very intense. We'll make sure we have some fluids and water to keep everybody going, and so forth on that. I'm going to do it very intense. I've been mapping this out. And we're going to have some other training happening there. Tanya's going to be covering some organization, but it's going to be jam packed. Okay. And then we're not going to, when we're the dinner thing, obviously we're going to reveal it. We will have the wine, the new wine will be there in all of its glory for us to enjoy. There will be special seatings for all the grand crew.
Yep.
Like you guys will be in the front, and also you'll be at the very epic center of the release of the label. So we'll have that surrounded the grand crews. That is the one thing I got to make sure we notate on there, so we'll know where it's at, so we can do the seating assignments. And so we'll have the registration on there. I got to add that to the question. Actually, I'll do that right now. Clean that up there. I forgot to add that.
Go ahead. I'll
Okay.
talk for a second. He's going to quickly add. I'm just going to refresh for a minute for you guys. So again, the whole reason he's telling you guys this, here's the ticket to purchase for the event. Okay. And like it says, that covers the breakfast, the training, and the gala dinner. And the dinner is semi-formal, just so you guys know. So bring a nice outfit. It's we want to look nice, and we're gonna take a lot of pictures and enjoy the evening together, especially when we drink wine. It's all about enjoyment. But you guys book your rooms immediately. Commit and book your room right now, because it's super important. He said they fill up quickly for October. So yeah, so especially if we book now, then we know how many rooms. If we need to open up any more, we can do that right now. So that's really, really important that we do that.
I'll
right
pop in
away.
here, you guys. We've already committed to a big block of the rooms to keep the rate that way. We wanted everybody to be able to afford this. It's you guys stay at the hotel before. It's a Marriott, right? It's a 4 Points Sheraton. It's a Marriott property. The rooms, we were shocked at how good the rooms were. But we got that same rate. It's $139 a night. You don't have to pay for it. You're just booking it now. But this is one of those things not to hesitate, because it's not like it was in May where we actually had a little bit. I mean, we got to open up more and more rooms. We're not going to be able to do that here because they're going to sell out anyway.
Yes.
And we want to have it sold out with Triple R 247 people. However, it's not bad when there's other people there. We can always invite things. It's kind of fun to recruit. But I'm just saying, we need to book it. So jump on it. Decide to go there. We try to get together twice a year, and we were going to do, we've done Napa the last couple of years around the wine. And we're changing directions with adding more stuff, like with brain food and the stuff that's there. But you guys, we will always celebrate with wine. Wine, all roads lead to wine. And, the Wine of the Month Club allowed us to build the infrastructures and the technologies to add more opportunity to what we have. And you think about the education process and how important that really is, and we get to be part of that. And so it's going to be changing the way that things go. Now we've got our leaderboard. I'll come back and talk about that in a second.
Yeah. Well, though, that's, I just stopped screen share for just a moment, just to put the link in the chat so you guys could have all that. Wait just a second before you buy the ticket though, because he's adding a couple questions. We need to know who's Grand Crew so we can make sure. And as we were with the room, we just put the first few rows were Grand Crew, and then behind that is first come, first serve, because we're trying to make sure we can fill everybody. But if I know how many Grand Crew members are coming, then we can make sure we save seats for you. So just make sure that you guys fill that out. So just give that a moment, and then make sure for your team that you put this out there and share with your team. You guys, if you have any questions, please ask your MSIs or your PSIs or GSIs, because I don't have time right now for that, because we have another training hour as well after this. But yeah, just make sure that you guys let your MSI know as well, because Fridays are going to be designated as everyone's coming into the event. Those will be designated for you guys to meet and greet with your team, mingle. And you guys, there's something so important. I say this every time, something so important about live events. It is super important. It's the only time that we get to have what I call office time, our water cooler time around the water cooler, to talk about things about our work, our hopes and dreams. Not only that, but then as also our, our family, our personal life, and get to know each other on more of a personal level. And it's really, really significant. If you want to see increase in your growth in production, be there, get your team there. It's that big of a deal. We understand that. And so that's what we really wanted to make sure that we did this. We were playing around with the times. We didn't know if we should do it, September, October, or if we should maybe do it towards the end of the year. But we really felt like this was the best opportunity for everybody with all the holidays, that this would be the best time to do it. We specifically picked it to be after the high holidays for those of our amazing members who are Jewish. We wanted to respect their holidays as well. And we're doing it right before all the Christian holidays as well. So we're trying to really make sure that we get it in there, and we thought of everybody. So that's why we specifically picked this time. Now, for those of you guys who have been doing unboxings and all that, you guys are going to be earning a lot of cash for your travel. But you get that if you travel. So make sure you realize that. I will have an update fairly soon. I'm a little bit behind. I have Brielle and myself have been catching up on that. I mean, while you cannot see it in the back office, which is what we wanted, we want that for a purpose, but we will be having that updated, and we will be having numbers for you guys pretty soon. So just make sure you guys are coming on to the Tuesday calls, and the Saturday calls are super important that you guys do that. So you guys get all the updates, all the information, because that's where we will be releasing it. So anything, what else did you want to, did I cover everything? Do you want anything else, Rory? Is it updated yet? We do have a cap out, meaning we can only host so many people, guys. So that's why we said, don't hesitate, get your ticket. Make sure that you guys are, you're coming, you're ready. Also, I do want to say one thing about the Universal event. We had several people last time bought tickets that weren't really physically able to do so. Please take that into consideration. There are wheelchairs and things there as well. So maybe look into, if you want to participate, make sure you look into renting one of those. And we had a couple that did it, and they were amazing. It was so fun to hang out with them. So, and that's fine. Just, I want to make sure that if you guys are not physically able to walk the park, take that into consideration. It is a lot of walking. And so I just want to make sure you guys don't spend money where if it's not necessary for you. But they do have, yeah, you already said that?
I said it one thing, it was ready.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's ready now. He said for you guys to go ahead and sign up for the event if you want to. But yeah, I felt bad because we had a couple of ladies that couldn't physically walk, and they had bought a ticket, and then there's no refunds. And they did not rent a wheelchair or a motorized cart, and I recommend that.
Yeah, we're gonna better prepare for it. I gotta tell you, it was hot.
Yeah.
In May, but I had so much fun with everybody.
It was really fun.
And so I guess that might have been that was one of the top 3 reasons we wanted to go back to this place too, is I wanted to have more time with that. I'm thinking about, I mean, there's times like you just get a bond with people differently. And, we do this because we love people. And we work so diligently. And I got to tell you, every way that we work, like we're intense, but the fun's intense to be part of too. And to celebrate all that stuff and to enjoy it. It's just, I'm way looking forward to it. All right. I got to check one more thing. Yeah, the form's ready to go. I got the questionnaire back on there.
Okay.
And I asked about your dreams. Tanya and I really want to focus on people that are there and where they want to go. Dream building and all this stuff is, you guys, that's our main thing, right? We talk about this constantly because that's what drives things. It's that simple. Why are you doing this? And why are you, waking up on there? And that's exactly what we want to constantly focus on. We do. Hold on one sec. I gotta look at this.
1 second, yeah. All right, guys, like we said, if you have any questions, please get with your MSI, or, you have, if you're a leader, you have direct access to myself and Rory. And we've been the ones planning everything here. So with a lot of input from Peter as well. So yeah, we just want to make sure that you guys know what's going on, what's happening. We're super excited, but we have to kind of rush this now because we waited a little bit later to get this out there for you guys, but we don't want the hotel to fill up. We want to make sure you guys can make it and we can enjoy. We have a program planned out for Saturday for the training, as well as we'll have the amazing dinner for the label winner on that Saturday. So really, really excited. So if you are a top leadership here, I highly recommend that you make it. Highly recommend that you come.
Tanya, so you don't get a
Oh,
million questions.
Oh, he's checking the booking to make sure it's working.
It was working just great.
Yeah, it was working yesterday.
I'm logged into make sure you're logged into Marriott Bonvoy.
Is it working that way?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, Roy logged into his Marriott Bonvoy account and he's trying to see if it's working to check it. It will be up and running today. We'll make a call because it was up yesterday when we checked. So anyway, you guys, let me stop the